Okay. Hello everyone.
Uh,
This is Group 5. Today we are going to talk about humorous language play in a Thai EFL classroom. And this is our outline. The first one is the motivation and purpose of the research. The second one is creativity, verbal arts, language play, and verbal humor. The third one is methodology. The fourth one is analyze. The fifth one is discussion. And the sixth one is conclusion. The first part, the motivation and purpose of the research. The author found that teachers use humor to create a unique atmosphere in class in a project which researched teaching English in both native language and English. This kind of humor can be seen as a verbal art, which also can be seen as a language play. There are two parts of language play. The first one is aesthetic, and the second one is playful. This paper focuses on the second part of the language play, playful, and research the affection of students learning a second language or another culture. This research happened in Thai University. It used three perspectives: psychological perspective, social perspective, linguistic perspective, to discuss language use in class in English and Thai. The purpose of the research is to explore the playability in the second language class, and it also tries to combine language arts and language theory together. Furthermore, it focuses on teachers' language play and how it affects students' learning, which may give us a new method in teaching students. So, it's a novel research in language using class. Next.
and I'm going to explain some now in this paper. First is creativity. Its characteristic is the originality, uniqueness, and imagination of language use. The article considers creativity as the foundation supporting verbal arts, language play, and verbal humor. Next,
Hmm?
next. Okay. The second is, the first now is language play, and its characteristic is to change language rules for the purpose of entertainment and jokes to produce humorous effects. The article considers language play as one type of verbal arts and verbal humor as one type of language play. I think that's verbal humor and verbal arts because that is, verbal humor and verbal arts involve creative and imaginative use of language. Next, and verbal arts is characteristic is the artistic effects produced by the regular combination of phonology, vocabulary, grammar, and semantics. The article considered verbal humor as one manifestation of verbal arts. And verbal humor is characteristic is to make use of multiple meaning of language to produce unexpected effects and humor. The article considers verbal humor as one type of language play and also a technique of verbal arts. Well, And that's because language play goes beyond surface meaning and creating multi a yeah, I don't know how to speak that significance similar to verbal arts. The article analyze the linguistic humor and discursive humor in the teacher's verbal humor. It's hard to pronounce. Next,
And now I'm going to say methodol. I'm going to talking about methodology. The first and foremost, this article introduced the research project conducted at Provincial Thai University. It first grounded in the works of foremen spanning several years, centers on non-English language teachers and their interaction with students. A noteworthy aspect is the rich data collected through interviews, amounting to a staggering 19 hours of classroom recordings, transcription, and translation when necessary. And it also mentioned three questions. Question one is, how can we describe the humorous language play observed in class of Thai EFL learn, eh, learners? A The exploration encompasses both the exclusive and the linguistic dimensions, shedding light on the intricate ways humor manifests in a diverse language learning environment. Moving on to the second question. The study delves into the role of the teacher in presenting humorous language play. Enter Aljan Murray, an Anglo-Australian educator with over 3 years of experience at the university and more than a decade living in Thailand. His unique approach, referred to as a bilingual blend, involves seamlessly alternating between English and Thai in his teaching. This linguistic, linguistic dexterity, sorry, uh, undo, 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 undo. This, okay. This linguistic dexterity, coupled with a keen sense of humor, adds a distinctive flavor to the classroom experience. The third and final question explores how this play contributes to the students' language learning. The class under scrutiny is compulsory low-level general English class comprising Year 2 students from the Faculty of Science and Engineering. And it also described the research setting. The class, with 31 students and an equal gender distribution, unfolds in a 1-hour session scheduled in the late afternoon. The prescribed text for this particular lesson is Journeys, Listen and Speaking by Adams and Sasuko, focusing on dwelling and rooms. Next page. And it also has three parts of the lesson. Part 1, teacher's scaffolding and the commentary. The teacher prompts students to verbalize English vocabulary for the names of different dwellings. And the part 2, involving students' group work and the use of Thai for creating English vocabulary. Vocabulary. We discuss part 3, where students groups provide feedback and the teacher offers commentary in both English and Thai. Next page. The study also introduces transcription conventions, notably using the at symbol to represent laughter, with variation indicating time and intensity. Spread this meticulous representation provides a balanced understanding of the role humor plays in students' engagement. In conclusion, this study offers a glimpse into the vibrant world of a Thai EFL classroom, where humor becomes a catalyst for language learning. Art John Murray's unique teaching approach, coupled with student diverse background, contribute to a rich and dynamic educational experience. As we reflect on these findings, it opens avenues for further exploration into the long-term impact of such strategy on students' language proficiency and overall engagement in the learning process. Thank you for your attention.
And next I'll talk about analysis. The author thinks that humorous language play have two ways. Type 1 is discursive, and type 2 is linguistic. Discursive includes verbalization, symbolic representation, and discourses. Here, all three of following examples I'll give you. Next page.
Hmm?
Next page.
Hmm.
All three of the following examples are taken from part 3 of the lessons, where students were reporting back on items they had listed for their allocated room. In this case, the bathroom. The students say shampoo, powder, comb, etc. After students said toothbrush, the teacher says that he thought they never use them and makes students laugh. In this case, verbalization is congruent images of shampoo, powder, comb, tissue paper, and toothbrush. Symbolic representation is incongruent image of students not using the toothbrush. And discourses is hygienic practice, sophistication, and social classes. Next page. And in extract 2, the class may be seen that immediately following the nomination of Shar by one student, another student offered water, which occasioned 6 seconds of sustained laughter almost the class, including some sporadic claps. This I interpret as humor on the part of students who presumably realized that to mention water directly after shower was incongruous, because shower predicates water. The teacher took out this move in providing equally obvious lexical items of seating and floor in Thai, with a further student translating the latter back into English. In its extract, verbalization is congruent image of tower, shower, water, TV, telephone, and bathroom. Symbolic representation is incongruent juxtaposition of water after shower, and incongruent juxtaposition of TV and telephone with bathroom. In discourses, its students parody the text itself, resistance and solidarity. Next page. And extract 3. The teacher said he think the word apartment is very stupid for the reason that people live together in an apartment. So the teacher talked to students that he think apartment should be called togetherment. Then he asked students the meaning of detached house. The student asks him that detached house is a house which is not yet married, and teacher says that's a terrible translation. It means a single house, a house that's not married, and makes students laugh out loud. Thank you.
There are three questions in the discussion part. Our report will answer three questions in order. Next. Question number one is how can we describe the humorous language play observed in a class of Thai EFL learners? Part of the discussion mentioned that humor in the language play of the classroom investigated could be effectively described in terms of a tristratal scan of verbalization, symbolic representation, and discourses. Next. The role of humorous in the class can be roughly divided into two categories. One is disrupt. Teacher and student did cooperate in a second discursive process, which tended to the transgressive, the parodying of the lesson itself. Two is serve to reinforce. The discourses in play are essentially conservative ones of property and respectability in Thai culture. Next. Question two is what is the role of the teacher in presenting humorous language play? One rule is regulatory. It was the teacher who signaled through his discursive positioning that fun could be made both of students and of the educational topic. The other one is pedagogic. Teacher can embed L2 play within L1 so that meaning remain transparent to all members of the class, even explode the discursive positioning of students. Next. The last question is how does this play appear to contribute to students' language learning? The contribute to students' language learning has three aspects. Next. Number one is affect. At the affect level, student desire and effort to participate was high. Also reduce students' anxiety about foreign language learning and develop their students for creativity and imagination. Next. As a social cultural aspect, humorous can liberate students from dominant discourses, and humor is a crucial part of social linguistic competence in any culture. And next, at the linguistic level, students learn language more effectively and enduringly, and language playwright students' meta-linguistic awareness also can develop students' awareness of language forms. Thank you.
And now this is for me to do some conclusion. And while the author observing the ongoing lesson, the notable aspect was engaging interaction and the teacher's adeptness in fostering such an atmosphere. It seemed to create optimal conditions for second language L2, which is L2 learning. Students were actively involved and attentive. The material was tailored to them, balancing fluency and accuracy exercises. Despite traditionally viewing humor as a late acquired skill in second language learning, emerging evidence contradicts this notion. Recent perspectives highlights language play's role in broadening communicative approaches, but caution is urged in integrating humor into second language learning. Humor, a form of verbal art, requires careful handling due to its potential to offend. Yet, when applied thoughtfully, humor could represent a valuable asset in second language classroom. So, this research is very useful. And word distribution. Uh, the first one and the last part is for me. I'm Zhuang Zhihan. And the second part is Zhang Shimo. And Mo Kaijie got the third part. Zhang Boyu got the fourth part. And Liu Zhiyu got the fifth part. Thank for your listening.